Alright, welcome back again, guys, to the You Like That podcast. My name is Adam, one half of this podcast.
My name's Jack, I'm the other half.
That is correct, he's the other half. Welcome back to another episode, delayed again because we just struggle to find shit to do when there's nothing in the cinemas. And we'll just keep saying it every single week that it's just a running excuse for us.
Yeah. We're getting closer, we're edging ever closer. Next week,
so close.
The first new movie comes out.
Next week.
On the 17th.
And I've already discussed with Brooke how to film this, because obviously this is a two-part episode that we're doing, but next week, new movies coming out, we want to see them, but need to get part 2 out for next weekend anyway. We'll talk about the semantics after this anyway, it's all fine.
Feels like an off-air conversation.
Yeah, it does, it's a little bit. You don't need to know about that. What you do need to know is that we're here today with a part 1 of this series of 2 episodes of a franchise in which we dropped hints for, which you should probably know by now by what's in the backdrop right now. We're doing the Saw franchise.
David saying Blade was really fucking funny.
I know.
That caught me so off guard. I don't know why.
It fucking got me too.
Absolutely not. Shout out to David for that joke.
I know.
That was fucking hilarious.
I went to Google and I just typed in Saw Blade Rusty.
Because it was so earnest too. Like, I feel like he might not have been joking.
Yeah, I know. It's like, he's not wrong. It is a blade. And it could be...
Well, the giveaway is there's not 8 Blade movies. I was whinging about how many I watched. So,
exactly. And Andrew did ask if we were doing the Fast and Furious franchise. I'm like,
that is coming.
Not yet.
Fucking March next year.
Not yet. Soon.
Jesus.
Not soon. Yep. Next year. Whenever that is.
Like season 8 of this podcast.
Exactly right. So we're here today to do Saw 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then next week we'll bring 5, 6, 7, and Jigsaw to round out the 2-part weekend. You would put in a shift of an effort to get all these movies watched.
Yeah. I don't know why. I didn't even have that much of a time crunch. Once I started rolling with them, I was just like, they're so easy to watch. Like, they're short. They're compelling enough to just keep going. And I was just like, yeah, why not? I'll watch 5 in a day.
I couldn't believe it. You told me I'm just like, 5? What?
Yeah.
Almost done. So...
I know, I just kept them going. Yeah, thanks. My commitment to this podcast is unreal.
You'll be seeing a nice little pay rise in your next paycheck.
Yes. In my quest to get fired, I got a raise somehow.
Exactly right. It's true commitment to the job.
Yeah, no, for all my jokes about coronavirus at the start of the coronavirus, remember I just made so many fucking jokes about them? And then it ruined the podcast for a while. It's still sort of ruining the podcast because we're getting closer to it not. At 3 a.m. I had a COVID scare. Almost ended up in hospital. So, yeah, that's COVID coming to bite me in the ass. So the flip side of that is like I had heaps of time off work and I've just watched a bunch of Saw movies. Shotgun them in a day.
Yep. And fucking what a ride that is for most. So, I had 5 pages of notes ready for this episode that I typed up today at work. How do you
get 5 pages of notes on this franchise?
There's 5 pages for
They're all ostensibly the same movie.
It was only for the first 4 movies. That wasn't for all of them. That was only for the first 4 that we're doing.
My notes are so stupid. Like, one's just like...
But that's your notes. Your notes are always stupid. It's literally just your brain ticking as you're
watching.
Like,
what if they don't find the tape and they just die in 90 minutes?
Which is a good twist of a movie.
Yeah, you can go... do something.
Yeah, it's just the Marvel series of what if. So, yeah. Saw franchise. We'll start it off with... I guess we'll just sort of scrub through each one as they sort of progress. So, obviously we're doing Saw because created by our god, Lee Wanell.
Take a shot.
He's there. But also co-done with James Wan.
James Wan.
2 very early Aussie boys.
Went on to do one of the Fast and Furious movies and Aquaman. He's done some big things.
He's done good horror shit. Lee has done excellent horror shit.
Lee has kept writing.
He's stepping up to the mantle to take on the Wolfman.
Oh yeah, a bit of news before we start. After we've started in classic fashion.
Always.
Yeah, the Ryan Gosling Wolfman movie was sort of fishing for a director, and Jason Blum put his hand up and said, "Hey, I know a guy.
Yeah,
we did this really fucking good movie that's still being really good. Come back to theaters." And yeah, Lee Wanell signed on. Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I had a bit of a dinner scare and almost burned down the house. Sorry about the
phone. Yeah, so Lee Wanell signed on.
Yeah.
To direct Ryan Gosling, which was fucking awesome. Ryan Gosling's great. They could do something really cool with the Wolfman.
Yeah.
They can't do a cool contemporary take on it. Like, you have to be a Wolfman in a Wolfman movie.
It has to be something...
It has to stretch reality. a bit more.
Yeah, it's got to be very...
Whereas the Invisible Man was
it's got to be gruesome.
Yeah, the Invisible Man was like, it's insane science, but I guess the science is there.
Yeah.
Wolfman, you just can't do that.
Yeah, Invisible Man is very psychological. Wolfman says, no, dude's is going to be...
So, yeah, I'm very... Of course, I don't have to say this, but I'm extremely interested to see what it turns out to be.
That will be 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Who fucking knows?
You'll need a bigger budget too, because that's a lot of VFX.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
They're not gonna do. Lee will want to do practical Wolfman effects, but they just won't. It'll look ridiculous.
Yeah, nah. They're like, hey, look, we let you do what you want to do with Invisible Man, but let's take a step back. You're good and all that, but hey, come on.
Yeah. So Lee Whannell, main star.
Yep, starred in this movie.
He is the lead in this movie.
Is essentially one of the leads in the movie, yes.
Carrie Ilways is a bigger actor, I guess, but...
Yep. You also have Danny Glover.
Danny Glover, who's barely in it.
Barely in it, and he's just there just to be a cop, as always.
Yeah,
no
he is very old. He can't do much.
Yeah, not a great deal else. No one else really of note. I mean, you get Tobin Bell, who portrays John Kramer as Jigsaw throughout the series.
Yeah. He's been in some big movies, but I just had no idea who he was ever.
No, you wouldn't
until this. And now, like, since the first Saw, he's only done Saw movies.
Yeah.
Or, like, a voice in the video game or whatever.
Like, yeah, pretty much. And that's also coming down to age as well. I mean, because you don't want to do, a great deal of movies too often getting into your age if you're not a massive Hollywood-type actor. But come back to do a couple flashback scenes for Saw, sure. Chuck it in.
Yeah, nice little payday for the rest of his life.
Exactly right. And then just a bunch of other cast members in there that just take among the smaller roles of the film. Written by James Wan and Lee Whannell, directed by James Wan.
Just James Wan, yeah.
Took the mantle for this one. And small budget, $1.2 million budget.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell. You can definitely tell, but that's such a... a tiny amount of money. Yeah,
because it's just something that they wanted to do. They had $30,000 originally, and realised that soon was not going to be enough money at all to make a film. Sydney didn't want to do it, so some friends told them to go over to LA. Let's try their luck over there. That is when they met up with the founders of Twisted Pictures, who just created Twisted Pictures as a company. And
never heard of them.
Yeah, just blossomed after the first Saw movie. So big stepping stones for everyone in this. James's first directorial...
The career maker.
Exactly right, for both these guys. Again, Lee knows how to work with a small budget, and it shows it's... From day one, it's always been a small budget guy.
Yeah.
To which, the movie returned over $100 million. In 2004.
Brilliant, yeah.
For something that is more or less a torture porn vibey movie.
Yeah, it's less torture porny than I remember.
First one is definitely not.
Yeah, it is. It's super uncomfortable. Like, you imagine yourself in that situation.
Yeah.
And of course there is those moments, but
yeah, it's definitely wasn't what they were going for going into the movie. They were sort of looking towards a torture porny vibe. Just a more, serial killer type thriller.
Sort of building to the twist, really.
Yeah, exactly. So, for anyone that's not familiar with Saw, it is a very small set film that is purely just two guys shackled to pipes in a bathroom on either end.
Oh, that's what... Yeah. Continue, sorry.
They wake up, they're shackled to these pipes, not knowing where the fuck... All they know is that they're trapped to this pipe and... don't know who they are, what they're in for.
I wanted to look up when escape rooms became a thing, because this is an escape room. Like, every single escape room establishment you go to will have the Saw room, like the asylum or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
And it's like think of an escape room. That's what this movie is. Like,
yeah,
turn off the lights. There's a UVX that you need the lights to glow to make it light up. Stuff like that.
Yeah,
there's stuff hidden in fucking toilets and whatever. Like, it is the first escape room. It might not be the first escape room. And it's this podcast, so I did not look it up.
Exactly right. So, but it doesn't matter. We don't need to know those little semantic parts of it. All we need to know is that this is, again, it's a new gritty type movie that some compared to the movie Seven.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt.
Very, very much.
Very good movie.
Love that.
To which Lee Whannell did state that they did love that movie, but they didn't take the elements of that movie as such as it is. You're a director, you're a writer, you admire things, and you're going to write things somewhat similar, but it's not apples and apples. It's
If you follow Lee on Twitter, he loves every single movie that's ever been made. Like, he is the biggest movie nerd in the world. So that doesn't surprise me at all that he likes Seven.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, in regards to the first movie, you know, how did you go about when you watched it? Like,
we watched it with, so 2004, I was in year 6, school, very young. And of course, you always had that weird cunt who got it on DVD. So we got it on DVD and I watched it. I was so fucking sensitive to horror or gore back then, so I barely watched it, like, through crossed fingers. And then I went back throughout high school and watched... I've only ever seen the first 3 until my fucking binge day. Just like that first experience of being really, really scared of it, not understanding it at all, because I wasn't paying too much attention because I was so scared.
It was just a scary movie.
Yeah, there's the camera flash jump scare literally nearly put me in hospital. I was so fucking scared of jump scares. Like, I was the worst with jump scares. And that one downright nearly killed me.
Yeah, no, I was somewhat similar. So I didn't watch it until 2007. For me, I was pretty much the same. I was the same, very, very fucking scared of horror movies. I didn't want to watch them unless it was through cross fingers, over the face, whatever.
I would never watch one in a theatre. I never watched one in a theatre until much later in life.
Yeah, the later ones I eventually did as I got older. But it was the same idea. My best mate, Jacob, he had the first 2 on DVD. I was like, come on, let's watch them. They're not that scary. I was thinking these are pure horror movies, like fucking scary as all fuck.
When you hear something like gore porn or like gratuitous gore and all this, like, oh my god, this movie has a reputation for the worst gore you'll ever see. So realistic. You don't want to watch that.
No. And then eventually coaxed me into watching it, and I was like, that wasn't that bad. Yeah. And he's like, do you want to watch the second one? I'm like, yeah, I want to watch the second one.
Might as well. Because this is like, it's like half a standard cop find the kidnapper or killer, whatever.
Yeah, it's that
side of it.
He's a smart serial killer that's playing these games, and these 2 people are trying to find a way out, and there's the cops trying to find the killer and all that. It's a standard formula type to a serial killer based movie in a sense.
Everyone thought it was a killer doll movie. Everyone thought it was like a child's play, and they were like, how did a doll chain them to the pipes? And like in all the promos, everyone was just like, how does this work? And then of course you find out that it's just a symbol or whatever.
Exactly. It's just building a puppet. It's just a staple of the series.
Mate, every single human on Earth made a small puppet. Do you want to play a game joke? For about 10 years.
Fucking hell,
There was omnipresent.
Yeah.
This movie. Jigsaw, the imagery, everything. Like, even torture porn as a term. If any movie had a little bit of gore in it, they're like, oh, fuck, Saw has ruined cinema. Everything's just so gory because they can get away with it. It's like, no, not really. Like, so they were just doing something fun.
Because, like, as it is, like, you know, these movies, cult classically loved and that, but, again, in the horror genre, they're not received well, critics-wise.
Nah.
You know, the first one had probably the best score from anyone, which was 49% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's not good.
Not good, and it only goes down from there.
Yeah, well, the quality of the movies does go down.
Yeah,
but
well, we'll get to that. But
they don't deserve a kicking at all.
Yeah, they don't deserve the kicking they get, but it's the same story of just critics don't get horror, and it's hard to critique a horror movie because there's too many different elements to what you're viewing each scene of.
And like a $1.2 million budget, like it's just a cheap little
You get
movie.
what you get.
Yeah, exactly.
It
probably didn't play at every theatre, like it probably didn't get a massive release.
No, it would have
earned its legs
select run
in the DVD market. Kids sharing
would have made it bigger up there.
Yeah.
Because again, it was one of those things, you know, you give it a decent DVD cover when you whack it into the Video Easy or Blockbuster or wherever. Someone's going to walk past and go, ooh.
It's just a foot attached to a train, like...
Exactly
someone's
right.
going to be like, oh, it's a perfect Friday night sleepover movie.
Well, that's the thing, like, the original cover is not the original cover, the Blu-ray cover is the foot. The original cover was the actual jigsaw pieces with someone's eye looking through one of the empty pieces.
Yeah, right.
So I saw it at CEX the other day, and I was like, oh, fuck, the original cover. I know that freaked me the fuck out when I first saw it.
I don't remember that. I only remember the foot.
Yeah. So yeah, now watching it recently now, what is your view on it now, actually being more understanding of movies and such?
For me, just saying just now the words came out of my mouth, it doesn't deserve a kicking that it gets.
Yeah.
It's not very good. I think it's not a great movie. It's just like all the weird like new metal and shit kicking in. Like it's such a product of its time. Like,
Yeah.
and all the snap edits and fucking like fast, like all the things cutting in and like speeding up and slowing down. Like they fucking ham that up and they do it so much. And just like the whole cop story I didn't care about, but you couldn't have the whole movie. You can't be a nerd like me and have the whole movie set in the room. I would have loved that, but of course you can't have that.
Exactly right.
I don't make movies because they would be fucking boring as hell.
Yeah, which I mean, they got very close with having just a single set location, you know, because predominantly most of the movie was just in this bathroom.
Yeah.
So it was very inexpensive in the sense of, well, they didn't really need to, you know, move around too much or change the set designs, anything too drastically. So it's, here's the bathroom, and then all we need is like a house, a cop's office, and fucking whatever little areas after that.
Yeah, I do like, we lose this in the later movies, but it's like when you find out slowly why Jigsaw is doing it, like these people don't appreciate life, so they should really fight for it. I like that element, but that kind of goes out the window later on. Like later on, they're just like, you've robbed someone's purse.
Very far later on, it
we're going to tear your eyes out.
We're definitely going to touch on those as they come to those movies that, you know, are guilty of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard to sort of look at these movies without thinking of the future movies right now.
Yeah.
Because trying to do them one by one and trying to not know what actually happens in the future, it's so hard to try and do right now. But the way I sort of looked at it was, it seemed like a movie where after it ended, you didn't know if it was going to be a franchise.
No.
You didn't know if anything was going to follow.
They absolutely didn't.
They definitely left it off to just sort of being like, well, this could just be the end completely of this movie.
Yeah.
Serial killer survives, these people die, left for dead, whatever reasons, whatever. And there's no sort of moving pieces where it goes, and then this is going to happen. This is sort of like, game over, door shuts, lights are off.
Yeah. It is very clever, like setting up the doctor and stuff, planning evidence and all that.
Yes.
And again, like when they go into how they all did that, it just loses me. But yeah, it's fine. It's a fine movie.
Yeah, it's definitely for its time. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think for what they had to work with, it wasn't just another type of. For me, it wasn't just another type of serial killer horror movie.
No. Yeah, it's definitely
like that. Because I find these movies to be so smart up until 6. But up until then, they're so smart with the way
that, it's definitely clever.
The way that John Kramer is personified as a serial killer, but
and all the red herrings and stuff, like you got Zep, the weird, creepy guy.
Yeah.
And you're like, he's doing all this, and it's like, no.
It's like, nope, he's also in his own game.
Well, the doctor might actually be doing. Nope.
He's not. He's actually just he's chopping his foot off. That's. If he was in it, he would not be doing that.
Is it the cop who went crazy? Oh no, he actually had a run-in with Jigsaw and got his throat cut, so it can't be him.
Yep.
He just went crazy.
Got his partner killed, whatnot else. And yeah, so for me, Saw 1 is definitely... It's definitely one of the more rewatchable in the series that I could rewatch more than once.
Yeah.
Because it's not overloaded with any over-the-top gore
and
type games or anything.
The kills, again, later on in the movie, they take the fucking piss. Like, they go for 12 minutes, like a machine slowly turning, and it shows every single step that the victims are going through.
Yeah.
This one, like, there's not that many kills or trap setups.
Yeah,
it's like
no.
the bear trap, the razor wire, and then everything in the room.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And the shotgun's pointing down that kills the cop.
Yeah.
That's all fine. Like, that's pretty much all
it's
the big
all spaced
kills.
out well, and it's just...
That's all the big kills and all the big gore you get.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, I was like, the reputation for it being so gory, there's not that many, like... It's a standard slasher movie, pretty much.
Basically, yeah. There's nothing outlandish over the top.
But the kills, they don't take the piss. They don't go forever.
Yeah, definitely not this one. So, definitely understandable to how this movie definitely was able to take off in the year that it comes out and how it's received. Obviously, it didn't matter because very quickly the sequel was greenlit, very, very quickly after the success. When you have a movie that you only paid $1 million for and you get $100 million back, of course you're going to go, fucking do it again.
100%. It's the Nightmare on Elm Street model.
Exactly right.
No one expected it to be good, and then
Yep.
every single person on Earth saw it.
Exactly right. So we then follow up with Saw 2 a year later.
James and Lee go, see you later.
James and Lee went see you later. They were off. Well, they wanted to. At the time, they were working on Dead Silence. So for them, we have no time. Can't do it.
No.
They really wanted to push forward through it. They discovered a music video director, Darren Bousman, what the fuck his name is, was writing a script for his first film. It was going to be called The Desperate. Showed it to a few people. This German company picked it up and showed it off to Greg Hoffman, one of the producers of all the movies, who said this is basically a Saw movie. But then once he showed it to the other producers, they were like, this is basically what we need to start Saw 2.
Yeah, right.
And then after a little bit of going through with this guy, went, all right, you're going to direct it then.
That would have happened so much. Like, in LA, people would watch Saw, check the budget, and go, holy fuck, I can make this. I can make something like this. Imagine at the time, like, being a production company and just getting all of those fucking scripts for, like, yeah, it's Saw, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's nearly Saw.
But it
It'll
isn't.
look like Saw and sound like Saw, but it's not Saw.
Yeah.
And it's just like that. It would have been flooded at that time. And then this guy did it and was like,
yeah, he came
actually
through.
got it.
He wrote most of the script, and then before anything, Lee became available again to polish off the script. So he finished off a bunch of it, made it fit the Saw universe, made sure it flowed from the first one into whatever it's going to end with.
Yeah.
And James Wan, I'm pretty sure, just served as executive producer as well on this one. So this one moves a bit differently to what the first one does.
This is my favourite one. The second one.
A lot of people do say that this is
fucking unreal.
One of their favourites in the series.
I think it's a genuinely very good movie.
So you're saying Saw 2, very good movie.
Saw 2 is absolutely the best in the series.
Alright, beautiful.
It's my favourite.
So $4 million budget.
Ooh, fuck.
But
that's big.
147 million box office.
Okay.
Ranked up more.
That's not surprising because it's a sequel.
Exactly.
And it wasn't that long after it.
A year after.
Oh fuck.
Basically all the movies are a year after each one.
Yeah.
And they all get released the last October of the month.
Yeah.
The last weekend of every October.
Yeah. Star Wars in December.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
Every week.
Yeah, so Saw 2 moves in a slightly different direction. Now it's still very cop centered.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he's a serial killer. It's established now that games are being played. He's on the loose doing whatever.
It's the second time. Like in the first one, he just gets caught. They find him straight away, and then in this one, they find him straight away as well. In the first one, he actually gets away, but this one,
the first one he gets away, but to the same thing. I think it's sort of he knew that is his way. He had his own trap set up there. That's why the cop gets shot in the head with a shotgun.
But every other slasher movie, it's like they never find them all. They never trace them. Nah. John, they just walk into his warehouse.
Found exactly where it was.
Everything's out on the table. He's still working on him. He's just like, you were going to turn up eventually. Like, he just keeps going.
Exactly right.
I really like that.
Yeah, so the second one is the introduction of a new set of cast. So you have the now main detective Eric Matthews.
Donnie Wahlberg. Couldn't afford Mark.
Couldn't afford Marky Mark.
Nah.
So had to get Donnie.
Donnie's a lot better than Mark. He's a much better actor than Mark. He's very good. But he just looks like a homeless person.
He does.
So really nobody hired him, yeah.
And it is apparent in Saw 4.
It's very strange, yeah. So he just went off and did the burger franchise.
Yeah,
And exactly. Mark was doing like Pain and Gain and shit, making billions of dollars. But Donnie's much better.
Bank. He's really good.
Yeah.
So obviously...
they look incredibly similar though.
It really does.
You can tell
when you really look and you go...
Holy shit, yeah.
So true.
One just ate a few more Whataburgers.
Exactly right. Well, one was a taste tester, one was a salesman. Detective Eric Matthews is basically the main guy in this film now. Again, they find Jigsaw in another warehouse.
You find out Kerry is the Saw expert.
Yeah.
So the female cop from the first
Detective Kerry. She comes back again.
She's like she's Saw. expert.
Yeah,
They just
she's
put
all
her-
in the case. She knows it
put her on
all.
all the
She's
storylines.
with it there. Movie opens again with another personal trap. The guy that's got the nail mask
Yeah,
on his face, and he's got to go into
eye.
a staple
Don't
of
like
that
that.
movie. Hey,
Don't like eyes.
don't like guys.
Leave eyes alone.
Fails that, dies. Obviously, more gruesome start to the movie, and starts up the games again. So
Which sets the tone for the entire franchise. Is every single movie starts with an elaborate trap, seemingly unrelated, but obviously related. But you know what I mean, like unrelated to the main cast because they just die.
exactly.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's
So-
usually bait.
Yeah,
Which in this one it is. It's bait for Detective
very
Matthews.
very much bait. So the whole thing is Jigsaw has kidnapped his son, and obviously Detective Matthews is now very enraged and really wants to get to the bottom of where the fuck his son is.
Yeah.
And this comes into the play of the smartness of John Kramer being like, you don't want to hurt me or do anything to me because I'm the only person that knows what your son is.
Yeah, it's sort of like a hostage movie.
So
really.
we're going to play a game, and you're going to follow my rules now.
Yeah.
And this is when we get, it builds into this house that has 8 people in this house.
Yeah.
In this new game, of which you have Eric's son Daniel, you have Amanda from the first movie,
The
seeing that she
girlfriend.
survived.
Becca and other things.
Yep, Shawnee Smith
I believe she was on Just Shoot Me as well.
probably was. I don't fucking remember from anything.
She had a career, is what I'm saying, before Saw.
Yeah, some of these people in Saw did have a career beforehand. They didn't ruin it by doing
Guess
Saw.
who didn't have one after Saw?
Everyone that was
She
in
took
Saw.
her Becca money and went, fucking whatever.
Yep.
She's good.
Yeah,
I like her.
She,
She's a good
she,
addition.
in this, she's really good. And then you have a couple other people, all seemingly unrelated, but working out to see why are they all in this house together. The whole premise of this game is there's a gas agent that's been released into the house. It's like a poison, and they have to get all the antidotes and go through these little games to get all the numbers, keys, whatever else to ultimately survive. And it's a lot of...
Again, it's very
Oh,
escape roomy. Like
This one
some
is
of these-
very escape
Some of
roomy
these
because-
bricks are out of order. and
Exactly,
you
because
gotta
it's
push it.
very legit. Like, there are rooms
Yeah,
in
and
this
that's
house.
That's where I got my note from. Just like, what if they don't find one of the tape recorders?
Exactly.
And then the
Yeah.
safe just shuts forever. It's
Yeah.
just like-
But obviously, you know, come to the end of this movie, there's a plan the whole time. You know,
Yeah.
Basically, Amanda is later revealed to be the accomplice of Jigsaw.
She's the inside man.
She's the inside man who's going to continue John's legacy after he dies. As we find out midway through the film that he has cancer. He tried to commit suicide. That's the reason that he starts these games, because he understands the true value of life and not to not take it for granted. And that's how he sort of picks his victims and ultimately gives them another chance.
For a little while, anyway.
For a little while, until other people get too involved with it, and then it all becomes too convoluted. And I love talking about it all.
So there's the red herring. This one, the red herring is the connection to all the people is they've all just been in jail.
Yep.
And then you find out why they've all just been in jail. It's the kids. It's Detective Matthews all framed them.
Yep,
Like
he's framed
framed
them
evidence
all.
or whatever. And then, so, you know, if they find out that the kid is the son, they're just going to fucking yeet him.
Yeah, fucking yeet him out there
So,
for
yeah.
sure. So yeah, there's a lot of stakes to this movie in the people in this game. Obviously, the simple thing for them to do is to all just work together.
Yep.
It is very apparent. There's also
Absolutely never do that.
there's
Throughout the whole franchise.
there's
No one
that,
did it.
and there's also hidden things in these movies where there's ways that certain games can be beaten without hurting yourself.
Yeah, right.
So there's the scene. So we know Xavier's going through and he's trying to get all the numbers off everyone's back of their neck because that's one of the clues is everyone's got a number in the back of their
all
head.
they had to do.
Just got to get those numbers, put it in the passcode and do whatever. When the chick is going up through the glass cabinet to reach out whatever, and then the blades cut her, she can't come out.
Yeah.
It shoots it where in front of that box there's a key hanging.
Yeah.
And that is the key to unlock the box.
Alright.
It's
But it looks
small.
like it- yeah.
It's small little things that not everyone sort of takes notice of in these movies, because there are basically the way John sets up his games is that these can be completed by minimally hurting yourself.
Yeah.
Working with people if there are more people in this game than yourself.
And a lot of the cops throw that at him like, well, you're just setting these people up to die. Like, and he's always like, no, it's very easy to get out.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, they call him a murderer. He's like, I've never murdered anyone.
Yeah.
All I do is give them the chance to take their own life.
I don't know, some of them, like later on, some of them, like, you are so maimed by the end of it, you would just die. Like,
yeah.
There's no way you're getting out of it. Pretty
much, yeah. And they get pretty fucked up. So, you just get... the big reveal is Amanda is the big accomplice now. The game was actually played before they...
Oh yeah, Amanda's in the first... Amanda's the bear trap in the first one. We should have said that.
Yeah. You guys should know that anyway. She's the one that survived and thought that Jigsaw saved her because she was a heroin addict.
Yeah.
Etc, etc.
Whatever.
And, so we find out the game has been played before they found John. Detective Matthews tells him, take me to this house now, and drives John to wherever this place is. SWAT team find the source of the videotapes, go to another house, where they find a room full of videos, and they're all playing pre-recorded tapes of the game.
Which again, the timing is amazing.
Exactly right. It's all very well calculated. And
like if Detective Matthews had to stop for coffee on the way or something, and the video started, he was halfway into it.
Yeah, exactly right. So he goes to this house with John. He walks down the hall, this tunnel system, whatever. Gets fucked up by a pig mask, as is the standard. Wakes up, shackled to a pipe in the bathroom.
The bathroom.
The bathroom.
The one we know.
Which is then revealed to him then that Amanda is working with John. She's going to continue the legacy. She closes the door on him and says game over.
Yeah.
Then you see the timer goes off and a safe opens in the warehouse where Matthew's son is sitting in there with an oxygen tank. Whatever.
That's fine. Yeah. Because the game for Matthews is to just sit and listen to John.
Just sit and listen, that's it. And
but
you'll get what you want.
Matthews is too impatient and throw shit around. And that's sort of his lessons. Just don't be a fucking rough cop.
Just hold on.
Doesn't matter anyway because he gets locked up.
Exactly right.
But they don't reveal Amanda until the end. Yeah. There's no winks or nods at the camera. There probably is if you watch really closely, but halfway through the movie they don't show her in a room texting John or something.
No, it's not till that last scene that you get it.
And I really like that.
Yeah.
I prefer it that way. Because it's more shocking at the end.
Yeah, 100%. You're going, whoa, what the fuck? This shit's going to keep going.
Yeah.
But again, I sort of find it as, does this still lead up to a bigger future franchise?
Yeah.
After this. And
this one sort of ends the same.
Exactly. It ends the same way as the first. Door slams, game over, fade to black.
Nothing else.
That's it. So you go, okay, well now there's someone new in this, so definitely could be a future.
Yeah.
So basically Saw 2, you were saying very good.
It's the best one. By a very, very long way, it's the best one.
I definitely put it up there.
It's actually very good.
It's definitely a close second for me. Because I love the fourth one. The fourth one for me is really, really good. We'll get to that soon. So a year after this, we get Saw 3.
Yeah.
This is the one that Lee, Darren, and James all did not want to return to.
Go on.
Unfortunately, the producer Greg Hoffman shortly died after the release of Saw 2.
Oh, shit.
So those three got together the day that they heard of his passing and decided they would make a third one in honour of him.
Yeah, right.
So that is the reason why they came back for a third movie.
Yeah.
So third one, again, written and executive produced by Lee and James again, directed by Darren once again. In what Lee Winnell stated to be, he wanted to make this a more emotional type of movie story, and to be like a father-daughter plotline between Amanda and John.
Yeah.
Which I think really delivered in this movie. So this movie that steps up in the budget. $10 million budget. $164 million in the box though. Went up again.
Still great.
And I'm pretty sure this one ranked as the highest grossing Saw film in the franchise.
Okay.
Again, new games, new reasons for people in the games.
This one looks like a music video.
Yeah, it is
horrible
shot
filter
very
on it.
differently, and
Filter, yeah, just
it's
this movie looks like fucking.
It's a very
garbage.
white.
It's just gross.
Like, especially when they're in John's warehouse and,
Yeah.
and the like their homemade hospital, it's very white or like blue light.
It's supposed to be like, surgery, hospital, sad, he's dying.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So the premise of this one is John is basically on his deathbed.
He's fucking cooked.
The cancer is really affecting him. We find that Detective Matthews is still alive. The movie starts again. He breaks his foot.
Okay. I thought that was in the fourth one. So there's going to be a lot of that there because I watched them all so close together. I am going to forget what happens in what number. You'll just have to course correct me. But no, you're right.
No.
I think you're right, but I think that happens in the fourth one.
Okay, no, I am right. Yes. Yes.
As if you would be wrong. This is like...
I know,
this is your
fucking watch it
franchise,
so
man.
much.
This
I'm
is
so sorry. Yes, Detective Matthews is alive. Breaks his foot with a toilet lid. Very gruesome start again. Again, this isn't technically a new game for someone. This is just leading off where it left off.
Yeah. It's literally as if, like, they cut Saw 2 and then Saw 3 starts. You wouldn't know there's a year between, like, you know.
Pretty much. Well, it's that, and you see him break his foot and crawl out of the bathroom, and then it cuts to a new scene.
Yeah.
6 months later.
It's a little prologue.
6 months later, we then get a new game. The remains of a game, and we develop a couple new characters. So we get what's his name?
Lynn?
Detective Hoffman.
Detective Hoffman.
You get Dr. Lynn.
That's why they named him Detective Hoffman. That's nice.
Yeah.
A little tribute.
Little thing there.
That's nice. Bless him.
You get Jeff, and then just a couple of the other random background actors.
Felt like Jeff was going to be a bigger part of this. Like, after this movie, we'll get to it, but Jeff is a massive fucking red herring, spoiler alert.
Yeah, so there's basically just a lot of other just one-off characters here and there.
So the game really is just Jeff.
The game is Jeff, but as it becomes apparent, the game is Amanda.
Yeah.
In the end.
But it's not like a big house with 8 people in it, it's just Jeff.
Yeah.
Like, almost like a video game just going along the path.
Exactly right. So the idea is John is dying. They kidnap Dr. Lynn to make sure that John stays alive.
Yeah.
Do what she can to stabilize him, keep him healthy. Obviously, they're not going to take him to a hospital.
Just during Jeff's games, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's her time limit.
Yeah,
All these games have a time limit, obviously. Hers is just until...
Keep him alive until this game is done. So we then see Jeff, who is a father who's lost his son to a hit-and-run accident, and he's
just incredibly
very vengeful dad, as anyone would be if they had to lose that 8-year-old boy.
When he yells at his daughter for touching his room, well, I'll teed up a little bit.
It's very touchy.
That's fucking sad.
It's very touchy.
I didn't expect to cry in a Saw movie, but
no one fucking
just
would.
like far out.
So yeah, it's a vengeful dad, and who the person who hit it and killed his son got 6 months in jail and got released after that.
So this turns from you don't appreciate life to you're fueled by vengeance.
Yeah.
Will revenge make you feel better, or will it make you feel worse? That's the motivation.
Yeah, that's the more drive here.
It's not regret. It's not doing something wrong.
No, it's literally just being able to let go.
Yeah.
Stop hurting others around you.
So again, it's very, very nice what John is doing, but also absolutely horrible.
But in the same sense, Jeff is pretty much not set up to fail in this movie, because as you said, for what he's doing, it's literally him going and choosing to let someone else live or die.
The pain is not inflicted on him.
Exactly right. So
which is new as well.
Exactly, it's another new thing, and that's why you can see that Lee definitely wrote this in a different way.
2 and 3 are definitely the strongest in that way.
Yeah, you can see this is where he knew that he wasn't going to do any more after this. He was going to put his all into the story of John and Amanda here, and then leave it off to
Go and do Insidious.
Whatever. Go do Insidious, which I fucking love. Insidious is great. We should do it.
I've never seen a single second of an Insidious movie. I've
been
been meaning to because Lee, obviously, but
yeah, that'll be coming. Insidious series will be coming. Yes,
pandemic would have.
We only got another day up to watch 5 movies or whatever.
Fuck, I hope so.
Yeah, so a lot of little bits here and there happening. The obviously detectives and that still trying to figure out who Jigsaw. Yeah, do they know he's fucking?
Yeah, I don't remember if they don't know it's, or if they do know it's John Kramer, they can't find him.
Actually, no.
Because they just leave him in the van at the end. He's all beat up.
No, sorry, no. They do. Obviously, they do know it's John Kramer. What the fuck am I talking about? The second movie they had him in fucking custody.
Yeah, but he kind of got away. So that's
yeah, okay. So they know it's John Kramer, but they're now trying to link up, thinking that there is going to be there is an accomplice working for him.
Yeah.
After Detective Hoffman comes into the scene and starts poking and prodding around, and just developing a new set of cops to take on the Jigsaw case.
Yeah.
And eventually where it leads them.
Because Kerry gets like obsessed and loses herself in it.
Yeah, she basically turns into Tap, Danny Glover's character from the first one, obsessed with the case, to which leads to her death.
Getting caught by him and
getting caught, getting put in her own game, which is
unwinnable,
inescapable. As was Troy's, the guy at the start of the movie as well, who had all the chains in his body.
Yeah.
The door was bolted shut, so even though if he released himself from all his chains, he still could not have left that room.
Which goes against everything Jigsaw has based
exactly
himself
right.
on. Like,
so we start to learn that things are changing.
It's probably not
This
him.
is not a Jigsaw motive. This isn't a John Kramer type game.
And that's because it's not.
And that's because it's not. We eventually learned that Amanda is pretty much fully taking on the mantle of the games now.
Yeah.
He's putting his trust into her to create these games and make sure people follow the rules. The rules are set out properly. To which she just pretty much doesn't care. Yeah. She doesn't.
She's not very good at it.
She's starting to lose her understandability of John's philosophy into why he does these things.
Because she's like sort of pre-grieving for him.
Yeah.
Like, she's not handling his death well.
It's that she's also thinks that people don't change.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if they win these games or not. They're not going to change who they are.
No.
It's stupid. It's dumb. Let's just fucking murder them.
People suck.
Basically.
Yeah.
So, excuse me.
Very edgelord.
Yeah, very edgelord. So yeah, this movie has a lot of, again, the way Lee said, father-daughter type thing with Amanda and John. Yeah. Definitely taking the toll on Amanda, as it shows through the whole film, when Dr. Lin is working on him and performing the surgery and that. He's convulsing, all this and that, whatever else, and seeing how close that he's getting with her and shit, thinking
that's
it's
the
weird.
Thing. I must have tuned out or something. It's like, I was like, is Amanda like jealous that Lynn's going to be the new Amanda or something? I kind of missed that. I was just like, is that why Amanda's like being a shit cunt? Or
yeah, it's sort of like I think it becomes more apparent after the events fold until the end as to why he's sort of acting a little bit like trying to make her jealous in a way. And the whole idea is, so Jeff is partaking in these games to just move on from his son's death, forgive the people that wronged him and whatnot, when the real game here is for Amanda, because John finds out that she has been making inescapable games and he's unwilling to let a murderer continue his legacy.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't condone murderers.
No.
Which is one of the weird things. Everyone's like,
spies.
He's a fucking serial killer. And he's like, he's fucking not. He hasn't fucking killed anyone. He hasn't laid a finger on him.
Yeah.
So, yeah. The whole idea was she just had to make sure that Lynn was kept alive. She's more important to Amanda than she knows. She's like, I don't fucking care about this woman. I don't fucking care who she is. And it's just him just being like, it's the whole thing of like, you just have to listen to John.
All you have to do is be patient.
Just listen to what John says.
Might be a metaphor for old people in general. Just like, yeah, just give them the time. Listen to them.
Yeah, like just
let them
go. Come on, just wait.
Let them talk.
Because obviously so you get the ending of finding out that Jeff and Lynn are actually married. As Jeff finishes his games and comes through the warehouse, this is when Amanda sort of goes a bit loopy, and yeah, John's like, all right. Take the collar off Lynn. The game's done.
She's good to go.
Let her go. And she's like, I'm not fucking letting her go. Has a gun pointed on her. Eventually shoots her. She falls into the arms of Jeff. Jeff has his own gun with a bullet in it. Shoots Amanda through the neck. And as she's laying there dying, John reveals to Amanda that this game was meant for her this whole time. It was a test. Because he found out this, that, and the other. Wanted to see what would happen if he put up to this sort of test, which she obviously has failed, and she dies out, bleeds, and then it's just Jeff there with his shot misses lying on the ground, and John laying in a bed, being like, I have one final test for you.
It's like, yeah, your Jigsaw
I
now.
want to play a game.
Yeah.
Again. And the whole thing is I can call an ambulance and have it here in 4 minutes, and you can save your wife because she's currently dying. You can forgive me, or you can kill me. The choice is yours. Live or die.
He forgives him and then kills him also.
It's like, okay. Lynn's obviously going... She can't really speak because she's been shot in the fucking back. But she knows what's going to happen if he kills Jigsaw. The highlight is she's had this bomb collar around her neck that just had shotgun shells in it. And if John dies... She dies because it's linked up to his heart rate monitor. And
some of the shit they come up with, you just like...
It's
why
brilliant,
is the
bro.
person who thought of that not in jail?
It is weird when you think about it.
This one has the worst trap for me, like the one I would want to be in the less, with the... He calls it the rack.
The rack,
and it
yeah.
twists the bones around.
Yeah, that one is full.
When I was watching that, I was just like, whoever, like, if it's Lee, if it's my boy, if he made that up, he has to be in jail. Like, I'm sorry, it is the most fucking horrific thought.
And the way that they film it too,
Oh,
is actually just like one limb at a time, and you hear it, and oof, it's a fucking good scene, yeah.
Because even number 2 didn't have anything that elaborate, really.
Nah, you had like the furnace, you had
yeah.
the needle pit.
Yeah.
Which
is bad. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't want to fall into a needle.
No,
but I
no
really don't want to be in this fucking bone turning shit. Holy crap.
Definitely fucking not. I wouldn't even want to be in the one with the fucking pig's guts falling on the dude.
No, God,
drowning pig's guts. No thanks.
Ugh.
Yeah. So
yeah, then we think Jeff's gonna be Jigsaw.
Jeff is gonna
Jeff's Jigsaw. If there's more movies, which there are,
pretty much. So he kills Jigsaw, which then. Jigsaw plays the tape as he's dying, which is basically just saying, this was your final test. You obviously, I said you can forgive me or kill me. If you're hearing this tape, then you failed, and resulting in the fact that I'm the only person who knows where your daughter currently is right now.
Very definitively kills him too. That's important to note. Like, he's definitely fucking dead.
Yeah.
We watch John die.
Yeah.
We watch him bleed out and die.
John Kramer is completely dead.
John is absolutely dead. Why are there 8 more movies after it? Find out on the You Like That podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, we're still doing one more. Sorry.
Still going. We've still got more to go.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's where that movie ends, and that one's sort of left now more with again, what the fuck is the future now? Because now Jigsaw is dead, and who knows
Where's
what the fuck
Detective Matthews? Like, in the prologue, it's like, well, he's still alive.
Exactly right.
What happened? He doesn't come back.
Again, more questions than there is answers, as is the standard. So basically, just in a summary, Saw 3, where does that rank up for you?
Probably second.
Yeah?
Nah, it'd be third.
Third?
My top 3 are 2, 1, 3.
Yeah, that's fair.
I reckon.
That's very fair.
And I don't love 1 at all.
Yeah.
I respect it.
I love 3. A little bit less than 4. I just like how they sort of intertwine their stories in a sense. But this is basically the end of the Lee and James
1L1 era.
Of Saw.
1L
1L
era.
And we move on again to a year later to get Saw 4, which again This is now not being written or
Yeah.
anything
And
too
even
major
even not knowing that, you can tell straight away. Like, it just looks different. It feels different.
very, very much so. So this one again, directed by Darren Boozman again. But
Is it the same director?
same director.
Oh, okay.
The story was done by Patrick Melton and Marcus Dunstan, and Lee Winnell and James only served as executive producers, which they do from here to the future. They only ever served as exec producers.
Which, if you guys don't know much about Hollywood, that means they invented the franchise. They don't have to do any work at all. They don't lift a finger.
Yep.
It's just to acknowledge that they own the franchise and they still get royalties. That's
exactly
all that means. So it doesn't mean they still care about the franchise. It doesn't mean they're going to come back to the franchise. It just means they did it. They're still getting royalties.
It's literally just that's theirs.
It's Hollywood is disgustingly cynical, and that's just how it is.
Yeah, exactly right. Because it was stated when Spiral was sort of announced, when Lee was talking about he would love to have been able to come back and work with Chris on this.
And it's a bit of a selling point as well. Like, Sam Raimi does it a lot. Like, there was a Grudge remake recently. Did you even know?
I did, but
and on the poster it said from Sam Raimi in huge capitals. But above it in tiny, it was like executive producer. I just forgot how to talk. I was so fucking angry. I forgot how to talk. But yeah, and it's just like, it's how they sell movies.
Yeah.
In case they know they're going to not do well.
Exactly.
Saw was pretty good with that. Saw never really did that, but
yeah,
it's in the credits. It's there.
Exactly right. So Saw 4 comes along a year later, 2007. $10 million budget again.
It's the sweet spot.
Box office at $139 million. So dropped off a little bit from 3.
But still
crazy
success.
A very good return for a 4th movie into a franchise in the horror realm.
And you can tell Jason Blum was watching this, like, as he was rising through his ranks to create Blumhouse. Yeah. Cheap movies, fun movies, make a lot of money.
Yes, exactly.
That's the model. You make a movie for nothing, it makes anything, it's a win. You get to keep making movies.
Yeah. So this this movie starts off a bit differently than the others. This is where we get the autopsy of John Kramer, who was obviously, if it wasn't clear to you in 3,
it's them saying,
it's very clear now.
Yeah, it's them saying he's not Freddy Krueger. He doesn't just come back.
He is dead. He is now open on this table.
Like, they deglove his face. Like, Jesus.
His face is off. His chest is open. They take out his stomach and they find, what do they find?
His brain.
They find a cassette encased in wax.
Which you do see in 3. You see him do it. You don't see him eat it, but you see him pouring
you see the wax there, and it's sort of, it's another little
wink and a nod.
Little wink and a nod to say, hey, remember this. So, yeah, it's another new game. It's another new step in the series. John Kramer is now dead. We now need people to continue his legacy. Amanda is now dead. We know that as well.
Yep.
So why do we have a Saw 4?
Well, I think it's going to be Jeff. I thought it was going to be Jeff.
Thought it was going to be Jeff.
Not Jeff.
We'll get there at the end of that. We go into the life of another officer. They love cops in these movies, man. It's fucking stupid. We now get Officer Daniel Rigg. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, Daniel Rigg, yeah. Who was working closely with Detective Carey, and is now another sort of obsessed cop.
Is this the 4th one? Wow.
This is the 4th one, yeah.
Okay.
So, again, the movie also then starts with its own other game. We've got the guy with his mouth sewn shut, and the guy with his eyes sewn shut.
Yeah.
And they sort of got the winch, and they got to fucking unlock their collar, whatever else. Very set up so that the guy with his mouth sewn shut was going to win.
Yeah.
Because he can fucking see.
see.
Very simple to see who was going to win.
And the guy with his eyes sewn shut is this big burly guy, but he's still
just swinging a pipe, whatever
away,
else.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is now going to be Officer Rigg's game in his lesson of learning to not have to think he has to save everybody.
Yeah.
His whole thing is he thinks he's Superman. He's the super cop that can save everyone.
But he's still saying, like, why do we do this? Like, why are we putting ourselves through this?
Yeah, because obviously they find Detective Carey's body, and he sort of just like bursts through the gates and as they've got like the bomb robot down there, sort of sussing the situation.
Being very careful.
And he's like, "Oh my god, key!"
Yeah.
And just runs down like a white guy would do, but not in this movie. And we also get the introduction of FBI agent Peter Strahm in this film as well.
Who looks so much like Bob Odenkirk, you will not believe it's not Bob Odenkirk.
And I also find, when I first watched these, I also found trouble distinguishing him from Hoffman.
Yeah.
I was just like, they fucking look the same as well.
Yeah.
They just got this
Sound
weird,
the same.
like,
Yeah.
the hair was the fucking same and shit. But yeah.
In that it's not their hair at all.
He's a brilliant
They're clearly both bald men.
Yeah, 100%. That's not their real hair.
Yeah.
But
Strahm's cool, yeah.
I think he's brilliant.
He's a good character.
I think he's really good. He's just that he's that standard. Ooh, excuse me, Jesus. Oh.
This is the burp episode, everyone.
Oh, Jesus, sorry. Yeah, when we tested, there's a lot of burps. This is the edgy FBI agent that's just like knows it all like straight up. It's there's no fucking around with this guy. He comes in the scene and he's like, "Oh, you saw this, but did you see fucking this?
Yeah.
And this? No, you fucking didn't. This is what we're after."
I'm a better cop than you.
Basically, he just comes out and undermines him straight
My
away.
cop dick's bigger than your cop dick.
Yeah, and it's now Strahm investigating that there's more than one accomplice to Jigsaw.
Because their hint is that the scrawny Amanda couldn't lift Kerry up into the thing.
Yeah.
So obviously they had to have someone else to do it.
Yeah, so he's trying to find exactly who it is that's a part of these games as well. So we come along the game for Officer Rigg, who again is attacked by a pig mask and wakes up in his apartment, and the games begin. Yep. His whole thing is he has 90 minutes to save Detective Matthews, who is now found to still be alive after 6 months, nursed his broken foot back to health, and he's chained to the roof and standing on an ice block.
Yeah, Danny Welbeck came back to do not much. Like, that
Not
really
much.
surprised me.
He came back to stand there with a fake beard and freeze his feet off on an ice block.
Yeah.
So yeah, 90 minutes to complete a bunch of tasks, and the whole idea is stop thinking you can help everyone.
Yeah.
You don't need to help everyone. It's sometimes the best thing to do is just to leave it, which is the big thing with Jigsaw. Is just hey.
But it's also like toying with Rigg having to kind of be Jigsaw in making these choices. Like, it's sort of, if he doesn't save this person, they're going to die pretty shockingly. Yeah. So it plays with Rigg's emotions in that way as well.
It's very much in each scenario where there's a new person he's putting into a sort of game. It's like either see what I see, feel what I feel, hear what I hear, whatever it is. Yeah. And it's literally just him putting these people into a certain situation where it's now up to that person to get out of their own game and redeem themselves or whatever.
Which is him as a cop, like, he shouldn't do that, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
But also as on a time limit.
Yeah.
Trying to save
exactly.
Someone he's actually connected to.
Yeah, he's got to go through, and there's it's weird the way that the movie is sort of set out. Because obviously you have Rigg going through his own games, and then you have Strahm and his team following hot in his trail because they know that he's leaving this sort of path of bodies behind, thinking that he might be a big part of this. Yeah. Whatever reason why, then they don't think it's him because they find, like when the two teachers are in the school and they're fucking stabbed through wherever on the pole, and he's like, "No, this was done before. He would have ever come into this thing. She survived and said that he helped her and shit and whatnot else."
Again, Strahm being a better cop than everyone else.
Strahm just
like, yeah, I just know, I know, I know what happened.
And we start to get the bigger character of John's ex-wife Jill Tuck.
Yeah, so this is where the story of the next 38 movies starts. Yeah,
this is when it starts to dive into John's past even more.
How he got to where he is.
Showing he's a civil engineer He's a very smart man. Obviously, can build fucking anything. Planning to have a kid. They lost the kid because Jill worked at a health clinic, and it's just junkies everywhere. And,
And John's big thing was you can't help the junkies because they're junkies.
Yeah, you can't help them because they can't help themselves.
In number 3, that's what Amanda was saying.
Yeah.
Just everyone sucks.
Yeah, which ultimately...
Everyone does drugs.
Yep. Which leads to the loss of their child, and really sets John on this warpath of having a new outlook, then getting diagnosed with cancer, then trying to kill himself, and realizing that
then we're where we are.
Never take your life for granted, and this is where we are now. So there's more backstory to John Kramer as a person before Jigsaw came about. How Jill was a part of his life during this process as well, and Strom just thinking that she's a part of this. She's suspect number 1.
Pretty much.
You know, she's prime for it all. And yeah, then we find, as in more standard Jigsaw fashion, with Detective Matthews on the block, you have then Detective Hoffman, who has been kidnapped as well and is on the other side of this, what do you call it, seesaw type thing. Then you have the guy from the start of the movie, Art, who was the lawyer in all these cases.
His mouth sewn shut.
Yep.
He's connected to John. He's John's lawyer.
It's John's lawyer. So he's also a bunch of other people's lawyers who got them all off for certain crimes.
So he's the red herring in this one because you're like, he's Jigsaw now working with John.
Yep, and then it's found out that he's actually got his own little thing fucking strapped to the back of his neck.
It's like a red herring, pretty much.
And the whole idea now is, we then find out the idea of the game is for Rig to not
act.
Is to not come through that door before the timer runs out.
Again, just fucking be patient. Just
if he
listen
waits,
to someone.
These
movies would never happen if they just listened.
Exactly right. No one ever fucking listens, so we get more movies out of it.
One of the kills in the hotel, there's like, they make a big point that the guy has a dog. And I was just like, oh, fuck the dog. I'm going to watch a dog die, and I just can't do it. They don't kill the dogs. But if you're going to go back and watch it, thankfully the dog's fine.
It's a big, fat, sweaty pervert that just sexually assaults women.
Well, he's a full-on, fucking horrific rapist.
Yes, he is.
Again, another eye one. Stop doing eyes.
Yeah,
I don't like the eyes, even for like horrific rapists. I don't want to watch that.
Yeah, it was straight into it.
Like a fucking chisel. Scoops his eyes out.
Yeah, so basically I like the big reveal at the end of the game for Detective Matthews and Hoffman and Art is when they look up and they see that there's 2 ice blocks hanging above Detective Matthews' head. That obviously if it sets off will come down and crack his head.
Yep.
And they just notice it with like 5 minutes to go. And it's a whole thing because they're looking at the contraption and see that it's hooked to the door, and I'm like,
how did they not see that? How did it not drip down? Like, it was really hot in that room.
Like, it's a big open warehouse. And he's sitting back and he's sort of like watching. I'm like, sure, you would have just... Like, I'm always spatially aware of what's around me.
Maybe there was trapdoors or something that went away, maybe.
I'm sure it made no sound, whatever fucking reason.
Makes for a good practical effect, though, when they blow up his head.
Yep,
it's a very nice effect.
Yep. So, obviously, Officer Rig beats the time limit, comes running through the door. Detective Matthews tries to shoot him before he comes to the door to try to get him to stop. But, doesn't. Comes through the door. Time to spare. The icebox come down. Squash his head.
Yep.
Art gets shot, and then he's sort of like being like, "You fucking idiot! All we have to do is wait."
Always
he's
ironic.
Testing you.
These movies are
always
an ironic.
Reaching into a bag, pulls out a tape recorder as he gets shot in the head, and plays the tape. Coincidentally, just before he gets shot in the head. Just so you can hear it.
My one, he would have just died and not played the tape.
Which is just basically explaining that his whole lesson was about his obsession to save people. One is for people that should have saved themselves, which has led to Eric Matthews' death.
Yep.
And now basically his own death. He's going to bleed out because he's bleeding everywhere. We then see Detective Hoffman, who should be frying, gets up off his chair
that
he was strapped to, and it is now assumed that he is the new accomplice for Jigsaw.
And if you do assume that, you're, spoiler alert for next week, exactly right.
Exactly fucking
You're
right.
damn spot on.
He walked into the warehouse where Saw 3 is taking place. So this is at the end of Jeff's game. He's listening to the whole debacle of him killing John, who then closes the door behind Jeff, seals him in this room.
So this movie is happening simultaneously or before?
It's simultaneously,
So,
essentially. And sorry, no, it's not sealing Jeff. It's sealing Strom in the room.
Yeah,
because Strom finds out where it is, goes there, he kills Jeff, and then he gets sealed in that room there, and then that's where this movie ends.
An absolutely stomach-turning practical effect too of Lynn. Like, she's obviously been there for a little while after the shotgun's gone off, and the wall behind her and everything. Absolutely disgusting. Like, you can smell that image. It's
big to go back to those scenes, because that's the whole thing that I really like with the Saw movies, is when they do like flashbacks or anything like that, they get the characters back to reshoot these scenes.
Yeah,
it's not
every single actor comes back all the time, including Lee. There's a scene later with a little bit more Lee footage of Amanda fucking with him. And
that
stuff.
Was in 3.
Yeah,
that was when John's explaining to her, you were sloppy, you were messy, I had to clean up your mess. Yes. Because she came back and...
Lee comes back for about 8 seconds of screen time.
Yeah, because Lee's character, Adam, wasn't actually dead. He didn't die, so she came back and sort of like choked him out of the plastic bag. And
finished him off, yeah.
Smacked his head on the toilet bowl.
Yeah.
Brutal. So just... they can very easily get these people to come back and go, hey, can you just come back and just do 5 seconds?
We think we're on a first-name basis with Lee Winnell. We keep going, Lee comes back... Lee said this on Twitter.
Lee, we love you.
Lee,
fucking love you.
Please be my best friend. Please.
That's all he wants. Grant this little boy his wish. He's not dying, but fuck.
I nearly almost sort of maybe had COVID on Wednesday morning. So, close enough. I don't, but close.
Yeah, it counts for at least one, 2-minute phone call, at least. At least a tweet. Fucking something.
Yeah, fuck, please.
So that's Saw 4.
Saw 4.
Again, for me, 3 and 4 I really fucking like, because I like the ending intertwining with 3, and that's sort of been like a same time sort of weird thing. It's so whack and weird, and definitely probably not was ever envisioned by Lee or anything like that. But I like where it left off, and then again this now more alludes now to, we know of a new accomplice for Jigsaw.
This one's really fucking open-ended. Like,
the
other ones are sort of like, well, we don't know. Like, there's a door shutting or whatever, but this one's just like, you don't know what happened with Jill, you don't know what happened with Hoffman, you don't know what happened with Sean.
Yeah,
because there's obviously going to be another one.
because the ending to the movie is obviously you just get the tape that Hoffman is playing at the start of the movie.
Yeah.
Which is then saying, it ends by basically saying that Hoffman is now going to be tested. And so obviously we know that there's going to be more in the future.
Yep.
And it's going to be completely different. This is a good reason why I like to have stopped this episode here at number 4.
Yeah.
Because it definitely now seems like a new era in the Saw. John Kramer is completely dead. It is now completely new accomplice. Things are really going to change from here.
Yep.
And they fucking change from here.
100% in a lot of ways.
Yeah, for the worst, I can basically say. Yeah. But we will get onto that next week for part 2. I still have to go back and watch the other ones again, because I didn't like 6 or 7, and I've only seen them once, so I really need to watch them again. I don't want to, but I will. You watched them in 2 days, so it's fine.
Yeah, if you think I don't remember a lot now, I'm not going to remember fucking anything next week.
Yeah, won't be much. So yeah, that's part 1 of our Saw franchise recap review, talk about session.
Yep. Cool.
Whatever thing. I love the Saw franchise. I really do. I'll talk shit about the last couple of movies, but I can't wait for Spiral.
I'm much more excited for Spiral now. Excited. Much more keen. Thanks for the feedback on the last episode. People really, really liked that last episode.
Yes.
I was with my friends last night who some listen. And they were very, very positive towards it, so thank you for that.
Yes, we
That
much
was a fun
appreciate
episode.
much appreciate everyone's kind words. They're always
absolutely.
very nice for us to stumble across and see.
Had a little push for some shares and people shared it.
People had some
Thank
shares.
you very much.
I think we need to make more
Boys.
Instagram stories and just be more funny guys on Instagram.
Yeah, maybe.
Just make more light, like, yeah.
I can't be funnier than I am. I'm already
Pretty funny when you're in your car.
already just too funny.
That's alright. So we'll close off with the ending segment of any questions that we had.
We do. We have one from
Which
my,
I saw that
my
your
one
sister-
supportive sibling,
It did come out and say.
unlike the other one.
So Gemma, again. Gemma, hi, welcome. Thank you for joining us again.
Thanks for actually supporting my endeavours. I'm like, Gene. He can go fuck himself.
Fuck you, Gene.
Fuck you, Gene.
You'll never
Classic
hear this.
segment, fuck you, Gene.
Yep. So basically her question is, why do you guys think people genuinely enjoy watching gory films?
On brand. She themed it. Well done.
Very well.
It's sort of a morbid escapism, isn't it? People go on a roller coaster, like, people don't like to go really fast and suddenly stop and feel like they're going to fall off something, but it's that adrenaline rush.
Mm.
It's that escapism of, scaring yourself, pretty much. People like to be scared. It's a very strange thing.
Yeah.
But I think people like to be uncomfortable in that way.
Yeah, I think gory is just a whole new take because it's so different and it's so much more real than anything else. It's not anything else you'll see anywhere else.
Yeah.
You're not going to see it on a TV show or live TV or
Yeah.
it's not shown because it's not conventional. It's not what people should see.
Generally, it adds stakes to a movie as well.
Mm.
I'll just go back to it in Upgrade when he breaks the guy's jaw. And it's just so out of the fucking blue.
Yeah.
Which is nice, little Lee's little nod to his horror roots. But
Yeah.
yeah, when you see something like that, it really does fucking hit you. In The Invisible Man, when the big spoiler happens, spoiler in 3, 2, 1, when the sister's throat gets cut, that's not that gory, but it's still just okay, so the stakes are up.
Yeah. I think curiosity is a big
Curiosity,
hit in
definitely.
as well.
Morbid. People like to look at fucked up things.
Yeah, especially if some films are sort of, give or take, realistic into how they portray their gore.
Yeah.
It's one thing to just have a bloody scene. It's another thing to actually have guts or limbs or anything like that, bones, whatever else.
Yeah.
Like myself, for instance, loving the Saw franchise. It's so weird to say because everyone's like, that's just all people getting tortured and getting killed and shit. And it's so hard for me to sort of find a reason as to why. Like, the reason I love him is because I love the whole story of all these films.
Yeah.
The plot from 1 to Jigsaw, it's continuous. It is all continuous. It just keeps going and going and going. That's my main reason for loving this series.
Yeah,
is
but they got
plot.
They got the reputation of the gore.
Yeah, which is hard to sort of discern from the rest of the series, and I got to be like, well, I guess it's cool, but I don't want to sound like a creep when I say it and think that I'm like a fucking fetishist for blood and gore. I just think it's interesting seeing it. I think it's different. I think it's a different type of movie. It has a different value. It
adds to the atmosphere as well. Like they're in this horrible situation.
Like, it's disgusting. It's fucking horrid.
So, like, if you're already on the edge of your seat going, oh, how are they going to get out of this? And then when they don't in such a horrible way, it's like a big... It's almost satisfying, the payoff. Like, it's not because it's uncomfortable and disgusting, and you know, but it is just like kind of what you're there to see. At this point, like in 3 and 4, that's what was putting bums in seats. Was Jesus Christ, what are they going to come up with? Yeah. You're right. You're absolutely right. Morbid curiosity is the perfect way to put it.
That's really all it is.
People want to know. People are scared of dying.
Because, obviously, any other movie, you'll just see someone... The worst will happen is someone gets shot in the chest and you see a little bit of blood. And that's it. But you're not put into the real situation of, no, but... Like, this is actually, how people can die and get killed, and this is what can happen to the human body. Yeah. It's just knowing the real effects of things out there. Not just, hey, I've seen a movie where someone gets shot and they're dead. No, this is, well, someone gets shot, but it makes a fucking mess. Yeah. Or someone's actually, like, stabbed, or something is ripped, or they actually fully cut themselves open, whatever reason. That's the real shit. So, yeah, I guess what you said, morbid curiosity, that's the selling point for it.
Pretty much, yeah. Atmosphere. so much to it,
Yeah.
I guess.
That's about it there for you, Gemma. So let's round it out now with Sheppo's Fuck Request Corner of the Week. I'm so scared for this one. So, Sheppo's Fuck Request
Fuck,
this
I
week.
forgot about this one. Fuck you, Sheppo.
This has fucked me. We need to put a disclaimer. This is not real. This is pure fiction. This is not what we intend to do.
It's fantasy, it's hypothetical, it's fitting in with the theme of these 2 episodes.
Exactly right. This is purely a creation of the imagination in which suits the Saw
art.
movies. We're just writing something that will never happen. It is just, because we need to make this disclaimer very clear, because we do not want to be put on any sort of FBI or CIA list of swat their house and find and confiscate their computers, and because they're serial killers. So, Sheppo has come at us this week with asking us to do this. I'm just mumbling my words, even trying to get to the fucking thing. Okay. He wants us to come up with the ultimate torture device or method.
Hello, FBI. Hello, the police. We're on a list now.
Exactly right.
Hey, everyone.
In
Thanks for
terms of a
watching.
Saw movie, let's rephrase it slightly as, if we were Lee Whannell in Saw, and we were tasked at writing one of the traps or designs for a game, this is what we'll do.
If you are the FBI guy, like, on the task force, having to watch this as evidence, please subscribe. Just press like, add a little comment.
Yeah.
Like, you're there anyway. Just help us out. Help your boys out before you chuck
we
this
put
in
out
the
you
forever.
there. Just let people know. Share it around to the rest of your team. Do whatever. The more hits, the
Just
better.
be like, look, the end bit, it's not great, but it's pretty interesting, like, up until then. Guy, watch.
Yeah.
Just share it around. It's really easy to share.
Yeah. So, had you come up with one for yourself?
I honestly, I was thinking at the beginning of the week, and I was just like, I just can't think of one.
Okay.
And like I said, anything involving eyes or teeth, we'll get to it next week with the guy's teeth happens. Either of those things, fucking, I don't know.
Yeah.
Lie me on my back and slowly have 2 razor blades coming down into my eyeballs, and I have to watch them for an hour slowly come down.
Yeah.
That would be my worst thing ever.
Fuck.
And strap me down so I can't just kill myself. Because I don't, like, I have basic self-preservation, obviously. I wear my seatbelt, I don't drink and drive, whatever. I stay alive, right? Yeah. I am not a survivor, right? If I woke up in an asylum, chained to something, I would be like, okay, what's the fastest way I can kill myself? Because I don't want to put myself through this. I don't want to try and live. I don't want to try and survive. I don't want to fight anyone. I don't want to put any effort in at all to try and survive, because I'm a scared little baby and I just want to die if I'm in that scenario.
Yeah.
So the torture for me would be not being able to do that and just watching it happen.
Fuck. I don't even know. like I had an idea, and then soon realized that it's basically one of the traps in one of the future episodes.
Well, that's the thing too. There's so many Saw movies.
Which is a teeth one. Like,
that's it, man. Teeth.
I was sitting here and I was going, it'd be fucked up if there was 4 numbers tattooed behind a random tooth.
Even that alone.
Because obviously in the actual scene it's in the wisdom teeth.
Yeah.
Mine is sort of like, no, it's 4 random teeth. You don't know which ones.
Ugh.
And they're tattooed on the back there, so in order to
see it, read it,
get out of this room and crack the code, you're going to have to crack out all your teeth and see which ones have the numbers on them.
Even you just saying that made me feel genuinely unwell.
Yeah.
I hate that shit.
So I know it's sort of a spin on something that's already a trap, but I think mine's a little bit more fucked up, just because I'm not going to tell you which teeth it is. It's just 4 of them. And yeah.
Alright, so the next episode is going to be recorded from jail, so hopefully they let us have the mic.
Yeah, hopefully. Which could be good. It could be a good episode for us.
On the set.
I look forward to it. So that was Sheppo's Fuck Request of the week. we might see you next week. As Jack said, we may be in jail. Hopefully not. I said that was purely hypothetical and just for the purposes of writing a trap for a movie.
It's art.
It's art.
You can't.
There's worse things out there.
Surely.
Someone went out there and made a Serbian film.
Oh god.
And they're not in jail.
They should be in jail for just writing a bad movie.
Tom Six wrote Human Centipede 3 times. He's on jail.
He should be in jail for writing.
He should be in jail for
movies.
number 2. The 1 and 3, piss week. Number 2, you're a bad guy.
They got a funny South Park episode out of it, so
yeah, they
I
really
guess
did.
there's a legacy there. Anyway, if you're watching this on YouTube, just subscribe, like, chuck a comment down. It doesn't even have to be related to the video. Just if you are on YouTube and you're watching this, just write like, I don't know,
Just say hi. We will respond to you.
strawberry lollipop. Write that. Comment that.
Someone. I feel like you're going to go into the video and you're going to comment that. Oh, someone said comment it. I'll comment it.
And if you're on Spotify, I don't think there's any ratings or something, but maybe just chuck a link up on your Instagram story. People will click it and go, what the hell is this?
Whatever you want to do.
Like it.
Anything you want to do, word of mouth, it really...
Facebook's the easiest one
spreads.
as well.
It spreads.
Because you put up a link tree, which is very handy.
There's a link tree that is
everything's in
all
one.
our socials in the one.
So you don't have to spam both episodes. You can just put it there. People can go find it.
That's very
Please
easy to
share.
find.
Please do that. That helps a lot.
We beg every week, but that's just what you got to do. Get us out there a little bit.
When we beg and someone does it, it works. So, you know.
Maybe we'll do a giveaway soon. Maybe I'll give away a copy of The Invisible Man. People just have to share.
Okay.
I'll give them a week.
Not my copy.
No, I'll buy another copy. And buy a fresh one that's sealed.
Okay.
And then, or maybe we can sign it. And we'll give you a signed copy of ours.
It signs someone else's movie.
And we'll give it away.
We'd hear from Lee Winnell because he'd fucking sue us.
I heard you were signing my movie and doing it as a giveaway.
Can we be friends?
Interaction! Yes! Yes, we did!
It was all worth it. We're going to jail anyway, so fucking whatever.
It's alright, he didn't call us from jail. But yeah, as Jack said, like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff.
Do it.
We will see you next weekend for part 2 of the Saw franchise. We'll see you then. My name is Adam.
I have been Jack and remain being Jack.
Always going to be Jack, always going to be Adam. We'll see you next weekend. Love you, bye.
I interrupted your joke, I'm sorry.